Hello, hello! My name is Callista, and welcome back to Pillars of Eternity. In the last episode, we returned to Stalwart. We had a very strange dream of an army marching upon the village and the White Forge, and just, it was bad vibes. It was bad vibes, and we've rocked up, and apparently some noble from Red Ceres is claiming, oh, I'm having visions telling me to take the forge for myself. So, yeah, we need to put a stop to that. I wanted to ask you about something.
Haven't been here long, but I'll tell you what I can.
Okay. Tell me about the Iron Flail. What brought you to Stalwart? There seems to be a lot of tension around town battle. Yeah, no. I want all of the deets. Tell me about the Iron Flail.
They heard about the White Forge and came running. Just like a lot of us did.
Yes, okay. Okay, so the town is having a boom. The White Forge is bringing prosperity. It's like I was saying in the last episode. We had three options: defend what is yours, leave it be, or try and share. The guy from Red Ceres isn't interested in sharing. Without the White Forge, they will die. Like, it's defend or lay down or die. That's their options here.
Only difference is, they brought siege weapons. As best anyone can tell, they're from the border region near Little Bend, one of the poorest parts of the country. For Red Ceres, well, that's saying something.
What brought you to Stalwart?
Work. I was a cobbler in New Yarma, but the city got more crowded every year. Rural types fleeing the legacy. A couple months ago, I heard Stalwart was offering land and opportunity to new settlers, so figured I'd give it a go out here.
So you're kind of like the setup for the base game. Like, oh, you heard about someone in oh my god, brain, don't do this to me, brain. I'm like, Adia, no, that's the wrong place. That's the wrong place. Was it specifically Gilded Vale? You heard about someone in Gilded Vale being like, oh yeah, we'll give like land an opportunity to settlers. Like whatever. But like that's cool. That's cool.
For a while, folks seemed glad to have some new blood. That changed as more and more of us came.
There seems to be a lot of tension around town.
Before you opened Durgan's battery, people tell me Stalwart barely had enough warm bodies to keep the town running. A bunch of us came when we heard about the White Forge, but now, I think the old-timers would just as soon send us back.
Guy, you can't. We need the White Forge to keep the town alive. Okay, we're keeping the town alive. Oh, no, actually, fuck these new people. You can't do that. Guys, you can't do that. He begins ticking items off on his fingers.
We take the best jobs, we don't pay our respects to Andra. We're overcrowding the town.
He shakes his head.
I get it. Stalwart's changing. Same thing happened in New Yarma when folk moved in from the countryside. But they can't keep blaming us for everything that goes wrong out here.
He sighs, and a steaming cloud escapes his lips.
I'm just hoping they'll calm down once the Iron Flail is gone.
That's all. Okay. Can do. Is it true? I saw the lights from the battery. Did you really open it? The Orlan clasps his hands in wonder. I can't believe it. I was sure I'd never make this route again, but who knows what rarities will come from those halls, Such an exciting time. But, buddy, they've been open for a while. They've been open for a while. Ooh, raiment of whale's eyes. I'm just seeing what you have. I was gonna say, so we've been seeing eyes, hundreds of eyes, and I had in my head, aren't eyes the symbol of whale, who's the god of secrets or something along those lines? This grey cloak is covered in a multitude of stylized eyes, symbols of the god whale. It is said to have been created by the wizard Gorin, who hoped that the pious endeavour might invoke whale's protection. Set against the many eyes of the 100 mysteries, Gorin hoped his enemies would stumble after falsehoods, while he would remain resistant to the bewildering effects of the world's mysteries. Those who have come across the cloak since have found much use in its enchantments. What became of Gorin himself is unknown, however, for nothing else remains of the man or his work. Ooh. Okay. Okay. Rightio. So we can still do this. Good stuff. We can still fight the dragon. Yeah, reach the Red Saren Fort. Investigate the fort. Okay, we will do that. We will do that. However, obviously we are going to side quest first. Renan Guild never said negotiating trade agreements was part of the job. Okay. Tarfos. Run for mayor, they said. It's an easy job, they said. I should have stayed in the mines. He notices you approach, and his eyes widen. Ximena, what brings you back to Stalwart? You're always welcome here. He beams at you. How's Stalwart doing these days? We've rebuilt. The western palisade is fixed, and some fancy merchants set up shop where Katie's house used to be. He gestures at the temple. We've also got a proper temple to Abaddon again. Never understood why the Ondrites stuck around in Stalwart in the first place. I'm pretty busy, so unless there's something else. What was that about the negotiation? There's a group of merchants from Defiance Bay interested in a trade agreement with Stalwart. Their representative, Nesta, is staying at the Gref's Rest. I've been avoiding her because I have zero experience with treaties and contracts and all of that. I was a miner, not a diplomat. Maybe you could talk to her on my behalf. He looks at you hopefully. As mayor... What happened to Renengild? What happened to Renengild? As mayor, I'll give you full authority to negotiate on Stalwart's behalf. I mean, we are pretty charismatic. We are pretty charismatic, and again, we want to help out the town. I'll go talk to Nesta then. Thank you. As I said earlier, you can find her in the Gref's Rest. Farewell. Risk tolerance. Fresh coal lies at the bottom of the smelter. I swear, there's something strange going on in the mines. Probably. Let's be honest, probably. There always is. Could we... Scattered spots of yellow powder blotch the surface of the barrels. The stench of sulfur lingers in the air. Could we go in here before? I swear down this wasn't an option. I swear down that wasn't something we could do. I'm very tempted to load up an old save. Just to see. Because that has got me, I'm second guessing myself now. I'm second guessing myself. Well met. You're right. Okay.
This is going to be fantastic. Just wait till they hear about this back home.
I'm glad you're doing all right, lovey. I'm glad you're doing right.
Oh, come on, stupid sword.
Okay, Masket. Yeah, this place has been properly refurbished. Lovely. This smooth anvil hardly looks like it's seen use. This warped breastplate is still warm from the forge. Mila's drawing. This lightly singed piece of paper has a charcoal drawing on the front. Oh, hello. I mean, this is a bit concerned. So we have like a child, happy child, and these two. Yes, it's a quest item. Okay.
I see where you're going with that.
And again, there's no harm in unlocking.
Give me a real challenge.
Okay, that would be stealing, so we I'll check. Ooh. Oh, why is it books? I won't, but I want those books. Okay, now you're just pissing me off. She slams her forge hammer down on the unfinished blade with a loud clang. Straighten out, damn you. Temper Masker. The older priest glares at Masker reproachfully. Sorry, Master. It just slipped out. She takes a deep breath and releases it slowly. What's wrong with the sword? Why? Yeah, we'll go into this first. Why did you decide to become an acolyte of Abaddon? It's a family tradition, one I've managed to keep going. She glares at the unfinished sword on her anvil. Barely. I'd better get back to it before Master Engram gets annoyed with me. What's wrong with the sword? Where to begin? She gestures at the rapidly cooling lump of iron on her anvil. For one, I can't manage to shape the metal no matter how hard I try. Master Engram says envision a sword, so I'm envisioning really, really hard. I think I'm ending up with a club. Maybe a mace if I'm lucky, but no sword. If my work doesn't improve soon, they'll kick me out of the temple. Can't be a priest if you're not a proper smith. Unless you help me. Masker glances around. Go on, I'm not a blacksmith. Yeah, that's not gonna hurt. Go on. I snuck a peek at Master Engram's law books and came across a ritual that can enchant a forge hammer to boost smithing skill. That's exactly the kind of edge I need. I've already completed the first part of the ritual, crafting the hammer. Unfortunately, the next two parts require travel to the I don't know why I'm having so many tongue fumbles. Unfortunately, the next two parts require travel to the Deerwood, and there's no way Master Engram will let me leave anytime soon. But who cares if it's unethical? We don't give a shit. Yeah, why not? I'll complete the forge hammer ritual for you. That's great. She hands you a forge hammer. That hammer actually turned out all right. The first place you'll need to go is the Shrine of Abaddon in Crucible Keep. That's in the First Fires District in Defiance Bay. I've never been there myself. Just place the hammer at the shrine and it should get blessed, or something. I'm about to sneeze. Oh, don't, nose. Don't do this, nose. Oh, you dissipated, you son of a bitch. Oh. That, I'm pissed off now. Oh, I hate it when you're about to sneeze and the sneeze just dissipates before your eyes. Oh. Okay, what are you saying, Masker? After that, you'll need to find the Shrine of Magran in Magran's Fork. It's not far from Defiance Bay, to the north of the city, I think. Do the same thing with the hammer at that shrine, then head back here. I mean, again, it is unethical. It is unethical. Ximena does not care. Farewell. Okay. The shrine to Abaddon is smooth and shiny, as if it were made recently. Well, it probably has been. Engram nods at you and smiles in recognition. Ah, the kindler of the White Forge. We owe you a great debt for the industry and faith you've restored here. Oh no, we're not going to grass her up. Welcome to the Temple of Abaddon. What do you do here? I lead this temple and guide the acolytes in matters both spiritual and mundane. He indicates the forge and anvils. Worshippers of other gods pray or meditate. We Abaddonians venerate our god through the act of smithing. Our doors are always open and our forge always alight. How may I help? This used to be a temple to Ondra. He tilts his head to one side, back when this was a dying, forgotten place. But the clerics who tended it left, as is customary of their goddess. The throngs who have since come to Stalwart sought a more practical deity. Farewell. Okay, so we can tell the head priest, Masker asked me to help her cheat, but again, Ximena's just looking to make a quick buck. Okay. Although that being said, telling the guy, hey, like one of your acolytes was trying to cheat the system. Could that make us look good? I mean, it's so small scale. Oh, ever thought of settling down here? Probably not. This place is probably much too isolated for Ximena's taste. Yeah, I think telling him, one of the acolytes is trying to cheat, I think that's way too small scale. That's way too small scale. I don't think anyone would care. Fishery worker, hello. It doesn't look like anyone's here. I mean, it could be night. I'm not entirely sure. What time is it? What time be it in game? Yeah, it's definitely night. Okay. Just a villager. Ooh, hello. Oh no, Stalwart fishery, okay. Ooh. Ooh!
Blazes. What am I to do with all of these?
You look snazzy. A well-built dwarven woman stands before you, one hand on her head, the other holding a few sheets of paper. 3 complaints of blights in Whitestone Hollow. And who are these people? Magran's faithful? Great, another pack of religious zealots. It's as if they're popping up out of the snow these days. She glances up at you. Oh, sorry, Ximena, just a little preoccupied. Things may have quieted down some with the ogres lately, but there's been no shortage of new trouble. Or work for those interested. Just saying. You mentioned blights. The terror of Whitestone Hollow. It's a grand blight that turned up after the avalanche. Real disaster that. A big heap of snow right on top of one of our main trade routes. We can't start fixing the road until we get the blights out of there. Can't exactly ask you to bring back the thing's head, but word is the terror's last victim was a caravan master. Turns out the fellow always wore a certain brooch. Figure it's somewhere in that monstrosity's belly. Bring me the brooch and I'll take it as proof you handled the blight. Sound fair? Yeah. Who are Magran's faithful? Bandits and horse thieves, as far as I can tell. Led by a woman named Royse. Problem is, their little group keeps growing, and they've started tearing through some of the smaller villages. They were last spotted by Searing Falls, and rumour is they're headed in our direction. Stalwart's just getting its bearings. We can't afford this kind of trouble. Bring me Royse's head, and I'll see you a little richer for it. Okay. Can do. I can very happily do that. Searing Falls, isn't that in the Deerwood? I was gonna say, isn't that where we fought that dragon that was piss easy? Why can't the Alpine dragon be piss easy? Why can that not be as easy as the other one?
Where have you got to this time?
Oh. Hello. The woman looks at you like she's used to hearing bad news. She shakes her head and holds up her hands before you can even begin. Look, you can tell Hammond that I ain't seen Myla all day, and besides, he ought to keep a better eye on his shop if he don't want little uns poking around. She folds her arms and plants her feet wide. What's this about? Myla? I think you've mistaken me for someone else. Hammond. Okay. Hammond? Yeah, Hammond. He's new around here. Set up a tent where Kidi's house was lost in the fire. She looks at you as though you should know what she's talking about. Sure, I've been there, but never been there. Shrug. Stare through her. Yeah, we haven't been there yet. Never been there. Oh, I didn't recognize you. You're the one who opened up the battery, aren't you? Royse looks both embarrassed and nervous as she stumbles over her words. It's just that my daughter, Myla, she spends time over at Hammond's tent. Gets underfoot. She shrugs, exhausted and exasperated. Figured he sent someone over to complain about her. Again. But you ain't hear about her, huh? What's Hammond's emporium? Well, it's an emporium run by Hammond. You don't know where your own child is? She backs away like she's been slapped. I didn't say that. Unable to look you in the eyes, her gaze darts to the ground, her cheeks flushed with embarrassment. But it's hard keeping track of her, what with all the commotion around here lately. Do you have any idea where Mila might be? Hard to keep track of her. What kind of mother loses her own child? Passionate, I mean. Like, at least you care where your child is. Like, Ximena's parents used her to pull cons and grift people. Like, the fact that you don't know where she is, like, Ximena's like, oh, there are worse things you could be doing to the child. Like, don't be so hard on yourself. I'm sure she'll turn up. Do you need any help finding her? Benevolent. Yeah, I think I was right the first time. You don't know where your child is. Clever. She does seem... I mean, we saw her. She was like, oh, Mila, where have you gotten this time? So she is looking for her. I think if it gets around there's a missing kid, and Ximena was making jokes about the missing kid, that would make us look really bad. That sounds a little too goody-goody. Do you have any idea where Mila might be? She's been out for quite a while now. That's nothing new. She chews her lip, wondering. Still, I can't help but worry that she's gone and gotten herself into some trouble. If you could keep an eye or two open for her while you're in town, I'd greatly appreciate it. I'll make sure she's not in any trouble. Shrug and vaguely, I get looking for missing kids. That's good PR. I'll make sure she's not in any trouble. Oh, thank you. Everyone is so busy these days with the mines and the forge opening back up again. It's kind of you to help. I have a few questions for you. Need something? Yeah, we'll ask these. We found the drawing, so we'll show her that last. Is there some place Mila likes to run off to? She often takes off to Hammond's Emporium, she shrugs. Has a problem with looking at things instead of touching them. Hammond's been on my back the past few days to keep her away. Might her father know where she's gone? Please don't worry him. He's in enough trouble at his job already. She smiles weakly. Truly, all of us appreciate what you did opening the battery back up. Folks like my Lodger are making good money patching up all the damage out front. Please don't set his mind spinning about where Mila is. He's Mila's father. If she's in trouble, it isn't right to hide it from him, honest. I won't tell him anything, don't worry, say nothing stoic. I mean... I don't think Ximena would see anything wrong with this. I personally am like, no, you should absolutely tell him. Just in case the worst comes to worst. Like, if something bad has happened, like, if he knows he can be helping in the such, otherwise he's going to come back and he's going to get the news, oh yeah, Mila went missing and she's dead. And he's going to be pissed off at you, like, why didn't you tell me? But then he might also have the guilt of, like, what if there was something I could have done? Even if logically there was nothing, he could have still like, oh, well, at least I went out and searched. As it stands, I've just come back and it's like, oh, she was missing and she's dead. Like, I personally am like, he has the right to know. But I don't think Ximena would see anything wrong with keeping this a secret because, again, she didn't have good role models for how parents are supposed to interact with their kids. Her parents were very good partners, they weren't good parents. And as such, the idea of like, oh, someone doesn't know where their kid is? Oh, well, that's not so bad. That's not so bad, there are worse things. Oh, you don't want to tell the father that the kid is missing? Yeah, are you supposed to tell them that their kid is missing? I don't fucking know. Like, I don't think she'd see anything wrong with this. I personally disagree, but I don't think Ximena would. I won't tell him anything. Don't worry. Deceptive one. A faint chuckle escapes her lips. Yeah, we all know you can keep things in Andre's depths well enough. Do you recognize this place? She squints at it. Mountains and a cave? Lots of those in these parts. She squints. Those lines could be standing stones, like the ones at Whitestone Hollow. Huh, I don't know why she would go off there. Okay. I mean, in the picture, she's with two individuals. It could be innocent. They could be, like, little friends. Or it could just be something short. Like, could it be the Lagufath? I mean, we have a Lagufath son. Maybe she has Lagufath friends. You never know. Hammond's Emporium. Yeah, let's see. What do you have for sale? Can I interest you in a new blade? Okay, that's stealing. Boo. You see your own reflection in these shields. This looks like Stalwart from the road to Deerwood. Cheap perfume lines the bottom shelf. And then it's all just villagers. Okay. These identical Abaddon figurines are all of equally poor quality. The shopkeeper's clothes seem a little nicer, if not terribly warm, compared to what you've seen around Stalwart. His hair is immaculately coiffed, and his rosy cheeks look like they've barely been touched by the mountain winds. Welcome, welcome! I've got arms and armour, all top quality. Or perhaps you'd like to see potions? Stalwart +3. Always a pleasure to meet respectable company out here anyway. Yeah. There's the little girl, Mila, that comes around here. I heard she's been causing trouble for you. She's out of control! Though I suppose one can hardly blame her, what with the way her own mother's always screaming at her. He leans across the counter and speaks to you in a conspiratorial whisper. I mean, where do you think the little rascal learns that kind of behaviour, He tilts his head. Only person I've ever seen give her a proper talking to is that wild woman who loiters by the hut just south of there. Ask her, that's her name. I don't know what it was about, but the girl's eyes were this big. He curves his hands into circles as large as goose eggs. But I suppose someone's got to do it. I told the girl's mother I'd be speaking with Mayor Tarfos if I caught her picking around my shop again, so I guess it worked. He shrugs. Show me what you've got for sale. Okay. Ooh. Soulbound? Okay. I have not seen us find any soulbound items in shops. Have I missed any soulbound items? Because I haven't known to be looking out for them. I just assumed they were always stuff you'd find out in the wild, but oh, okay. Oh. The Right Lord Laurel Tainring found himself in the unenviable position of being caught in a war between two branches of his own family, fought over hunting rights to certain lands that were jointly owned. While most family members found it easy to choose a side, Laurel could not bring himself to take up arms against anyone in his large extended family. He had this brigandine decorated in 2 tones, each representing the opposing family banners, and had the local Sparrowites imbue it with the power to raise a wall of briars, which he hoped to use to keep the sides divided on the battlefield. When the 2 sides met in combat, he rode out to the centre of the battlefield, raising briar patches and waving to both sides, calling out for them to stop their mad feud. Unfortunately, his decorative brigandine had the opposite effect of what he intended, and each side read it as being the uniform of the other. He was felled by a rain of arrows from both directions. When his family realised he had died, they put their battle on hold and discussed peace. When they began to argue about where Laurel would be buried, the feud began anew. Oh dear God. That is awful. That is awful. Oh damn. I feel depressed. Ooh. Okay. Dorts. I might have a ring for you. Ooh. Okay, Agwes Ardra's Helm. When Gref Admeth Hadrat passed the 10 years treaties on the anniversary of the War of Black Trees, he outlawed the looting of Ingwithin ruins. While this was a popular move among the Glanfathans, as well as the frontier villages who frequently found themselves the subject of the tribe's vengeance, it was an unwelcome change for the traders and adventurers who had made their living selling Ingwithin artifacts. Quite a few vendors, however, took to commissioning and selling replicas. Many fakes were so skillfully made that even scholars had difficulty distinguishing between them, and ciphers were sometimes hired to attest to the authenticity of high-value objects. Agwes Ardra armor, actually was taken from the ruins near the Court of Bowing Ashes, but it so closely resembled two known fakes that it famously passed through Defiance Bay, Achenze, and Salona before an animancer in Barda recognized its authenticity. Ooh, okay. Okay, very cool. Okay, I'm not going to read all of them, but still. Ooh. Okay, we've got scroll. Dude, you have nice shit. You have drugs. We will leave the drugs alone. We won't get the drugs. You have quite the selection, sir. Hot damn. Oh, there goes my timer. And again, I like to grab these items whenever I find them. Oh, there we go. Okay. Yep. Yoink. Okay, so we know that Mila likes to talk to Aska. Got it. Got it. Well, on that note, in the next episode, we'll see what she has to say about the child. But until then, please remember to like if you enjoyed, leave a comment below, and if you wanted to subscribe, it would be very much appreciated. A special thanks to my channel members, such as SM2K, Christopher K. Davis, CGG, and Kevin Bicknell. I've been Callista. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next episode.